Hey, what's going on, friends and family? This is My Thoughts Uncut. I am your host, Terrence Manning. Today, I'm going to talk about Stephen A. Smith's comments on Jasmine Crockett. Yes, Stephen A. Smith actually criticizes Jasmine Crockett, and he got some pushback from our pro black woke people. And it's pretty interesting because Stephen A. Smith, in my opinion, I think he's actually Republican. He says he's independent, but a lot of things that he agrees with is pretty much on the conservative side. It's not really the Democratic side. Um, and I get it. He probably was tippy toeing because he wanted to, sorry, tiptoeing because he wanted to actually, get that bag, get that extension from ESPN, which he has. He's making a lot of money. I believe he has a 4 or 5 year deal for $100 million. So once he got his bag, you can see now he's starting to even ramp up his talking and his content on politics. He's been on numerous different shows, political shows, and he's shared his thoughts and his views. And he's actually come around on defending Trump quite a few times. So let's take a look at what Mr. Stephen A. Smith says, Mr. Basketball says about Miss Jasmine Crockett, and what he is going to say in his defense on what he said about Jasmine Crockett.
And I made some noise last week because I had the temerity, the unmitigated gall to say this about Representative Crockett when talking about the state of our politics in the midst of a government shutdown, by the way, that has unfolded since October 1st. Take a listen to what I had to say last week, please. You, Jasmine Crockett, or somebody like that. Ladies, I respect intelligent women, no doubt. But how a Jasmine Crockett
I don't know if she's intelligent, at least the way she speaks.
chooses to express herself, I'm like, is that going to help your district in Texas? Aren't you there to find a way to get stuff done as opposed to just being an impediment to what Trump wants? How much work goes into that? I'm just going to go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work.
And it's not work. This is what they've been doing. This is what the Democratic been doing. She represents Texas, the 30th district, I believe. What is she doing for her state, her city? All she does is go on different podcasts, and I don't know if she's getting paid for it. I'm not sure, but she's going to all these other podcasts. And if you're doing that, how are you actually at work? Now, this is prior to the shutdown. She's been on all these podcasts. So if you're over there conducting an interview on a podcast, or you're going to CNN or all these other liberal news stations, what are you doing for your city, your state? You can't go around just saying Trump bad, he's a fascist, he's a Nazi. That's all you're doing. That's all you're saying.
Work is saying that's the man in power. I know what his agenda is. I'm not exactly in a position to stop him since the Republicans have the Senate and the House. But maybe if I'm willing to work with this man, I might get something out of it for my constituency. Because like Joe Manchin said, he's there to represent, or was there for 15 years to represent the people of West Virginia. She's supposed to be there to represent the people of Texas.
And that's another thing. When you're in the government and you're a servant like she is, you don't like the president, you're just going to go the entire term, 4 years or 4+ years, depending on who's the president. You're just going to go the entire term and not trying to help and figure out a way to, all right, let me lean on President Trump and see how he can help me do the things I want done in Texas, in my community. That's her job. That's literally her job. So instead of doing that, you make your people suffer by just going around and then saying the same old rhetoric every single day, posting all these ratchet videos and saying the most absurd ghetto things.
I don't know. Maybe that just sounds ignorant because it's so simple. But it ain't that damn complicated. We make it complicated. Damn, it's frustrating. It really can be. And all the verbiage and all the nonsense
That's
that
what
I've heard
happens
over
when
the
you're a
last few
Democrat.
days
It's frustrating.
is why it can get exhausting. Because nothing frustrates me more than when people have the truth at their disposal and they choose, maybe not lie, maybe not even embellish, but allow their emotions to usurp facts, and all of a sudden want to use that as an excuse to label me as being something and doing something I'm neither not nor have I done.
But Stephen A., that's what happens when you don't agree with them with everything they say. It has to be a all in or nothing. I mean, look, the common sense people, like conservatives like myself, we know you don't agree with everything everyone says. You don't agree with your own family. You don't agree with your mom or your dad or your siblings or even your spouse. You don't agree with everything everyone says. The only time you agree with someone 100%, it's yourself. I agree with everything I say. But as far as anyone else, you can't agree with everything. But the Democratic Party, all they do is damn if you do, damn if you don't. If you don't agree with everything we say, we're going to, you're done. You're done with the party. If you do agree with everything they say, now we look at you as crazy. And you don't get anything done when you do that.
Which in this case is disrespecting Representative Crockett out of Texas, who, by the way, has had an invite to this show for weeks, by the way.
Ooh, did not know that.
Governors Josh Shapiro and Spencer Cox came on this show. Senator Lindsey Graham came on this show. Joe Manchin, now retired, came on this show. Bill O'Reilly, Bill Maher came on this show. Okay? And more coming. And she has an invite. And AOC has an invite. Hakeem Jeffries, Democratic House Leader, he just was on this show. I've invited Jasmine Crockett. I have nothing but respect for her. I just disagree on what she's making headlines for because I think it's counterproductive to the ultimate goal. But yet, here we are. And the word disrespect comes in. And people try to engage with words, you know, like disrespect and implying misogyny and all of this other nonsense. Stop it. Stop it. Can we be grown-ups and deal with what the real issue is involving what I said?
Stephen A., you're asking for too much. When you ask the Democratic Party to stop saying, "Oh, you're misogynist, you're this, you're that," it's the isms and it's all this name calling and labels they want to put on you. When you don't agree with them, they're not adults. They can't handle no, they can't handle pushback. So instead of having an articulate discussion and you're gonna disagree, you may agree, they can't do it. They can't.
Willie D, Roland Martin,
Oh, Roland Martin. Oh gosh.
Bakari Sellers, and Angela Rye, who I have profound respect for. I mean, the list goes on and on with all of these people. I don't have their names in front of me. To my producer that texted it to me, I don't have my phone on me right now, so I apologize for not having those names in front of me. But I'm what are we talking about? How's it disrespectful to say what I said? Could you just disagree? Could we just say, "Yo, Stephen A., I disagree with you. Here's why." We got Willie D. Put up that quote, please. He's putting out quotes or text or tweets about me. Let's see that again. Stephen A. Smith taking shots at Jasmine Crockett ain't just messy, it's weak. Dude is sitting on one of the biggest mics in America, and instead of using it to uplift, he's tearing down a black woman who's out here putting in real work. That ain't critique, that's betrayal. Jasmine Crockett ain't the problem. She's the kind of woman who walks into rooms full of snakes and makes the snakes flinch. Meanwhile, Stephen's showing what happens when a paycheck gets louder than the principal. That's sucker shit, straight up, end quote. Wow, Willie D.
Wow.
You sure are uplifting. I mean, I got to be touched. That was inspirational.
So instead of Willie D going the more mature route and possibly contacting Stephen A privately, have a discussion, he posts something on social media and calls him out about not being uplifting. But at the same time, he's criticizing him and not being uplifting and coming to the defense of a Jasmine Crockett at the same time.
Really, that really was. That was inspirational. I'm doing sucker shit. That's what you call inspirational? That's what you call uplifting? Really? Now, I haven't heard everything that Roland Martin said, D.L. Hughley had to say, and all the other names that I mentioned, but I'm sure.
Oh, not D.L. Hughley. He's one of the most racist people I've seen. His comedy is okay. He's the least favorite of the Kings of Comedy comics, but he's just been on a racist rant for a while now.
I'm sure it's along the same lines. Nothing but respect. First of all, I'm going to be very, very careful about anything that I say about Roland Martin because he's a friend. I'm going to be careful about anything that I say about D.L.
Race baiters.
Because I have respect
Race
for that
baiters.
man. We've spoken a few months ago. I got nothing but love for him. I am concerned about him not making people laugh and smile as much anymore as he used to because he's more of an activist now than a comedian.
No, he's not an activist. He's just he's just an angry man now. He's a race baiter too now. Everything is racist and everything is this and that. And see, the Democratic Party will have you believe, and so same as Jasmine Crockett, that she is from the hood, she's this and that. No, she went to a private school. Jasmine Crockett went to a private school. She went to a Rhodes College, which is about $55,000 tuition per year. So it may even be higher than per year. It might be per semester, either per semester or per year, but still, that's a lot of money. And that's what the Democratic Party would have you guys fooled with, is that they are from the hood or from the area, from the community. A lot of them grew up in nice upper class to high class communities and areas, and they went to prestigious schools. AOC is the same way. She's not from the Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, Long Island. She's not from that area. She lived in upstate New York, I believe. So don't let these politicians fool you. Don't let these Democratic Party fool you. Thank you for watching. Also, I do agree with Stephen A. Smith. He's not wrong in this one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Whether you agree with Stephen A. or you disagree with Stephen A. Let me know your thoughts. Also, like for that algorithm, subscribe for your boy. Thank you. Have a good one. Peace.